Starts right now.
Hi there. Good morning. It is Friday, March 1st.
Happy Friday. Thanks for joining us. And if you want some warmer weather, just have to wait a few hours now.
Yeah, it's still gray and cool now, but we are expecting some changes. Let's get through Friday, and here's meteorologist Justin Horn.
We are patiently waiting on these clouds to get out of here. They're still over the airport. I've seen some of the TransGuide cameras. I've been peeking at RJ's TransGuide cameras, and I see some of them showing some sun. So we're so close. That Clary line is not far away, but it's a slow process. So as we look out over the airport once again, still cloudy skies here. Temperatures sitting at 50 degrees. New Braunfels 49. Kerrville is at 41, but that's actually a warm-up after what was a very chilly morning, close to freezing for a while with clear skies there. As you look at the satellite picture, you can see where that Clary line is setting up just to the north and west of San Antonio and then along I-35. We'll zoom in a little bit closer here. So if you're on the northwest side, say around Leon Springs, Helotes, the sun's out. Even down near the medical center, the sun is on the verge of coming out. But here around downtown, still technically cloudy. And that will wreak havoc on temperatures today. But I think as these clouds thin, we should at least get up into the upper 50s by noontime. And then by the afternoon, as full sun takes over, a lot of us will get into the 70s. Turns into a beautiful, beautiful day and a very nice weekend, a warm weekend with temperatures nearing 80 degrees. We're going to talk more about our rain chances. Yes, we do finally have some rain chances back in the forecast. That's coming up on Monday. More on that in just a bit. But it has been a busy time on the roads, at least in spots this morning. Let's check in with RJ for the latest there.
Yeah, Justin, definitely. So you were obviously filling in for me a little bit earlier, and just a little bit more details on that. One crash that we had there at near the airport, 410 and 281. It was confirmed that there was a woman that died in that crash. We have more information on KSAT.com. But taking a look real quick here at our current TransGuide cameras here, 98 military traffic moving pretty good in that direction there. 410 at Crossroads, same situation there as well. A couple things to let you know about in the city of San Antonio right now as we take you to the southwest side. Somerset Road, this is going to be the southbound lanes of 35. We have a stalled vehicle. This is the South San area, so South San High School. Not causing too many of a delays right now, so that's good news for our drivers on the southwest side. We're going to get you back to the downtown area, taking a look here at 35 southbound at McCullough. And we saw a little while ago that there was a little bit of a delays going back to North St. Mary's, but it looks like traffic is now moving pretty smooth in both directions there. All right, the big closures that we've been talking about over the past couple of hours or so. We're going to start here with the I-10 1604 interchange, and basically we are going to have the eastbound and westbound lanes of 1604. That's going to be shut down if you're trying to get onto I-10. So some good news is that I-10 east and west, that'll remain open, but this closure there for 1604 specifically is going to take place from 9 p.m. tonight to 5 a.m. on Monday morning. We have some drone video that we just recently shot of the interchange. Let's see if we can get that up right now. And again, they're going to be shutting down a couple of the clover leaves out there. Biggest message right now is 1604, both directions. That's going to be shut down in this area right there. You do see these ramps that are going up there. TxDOT says that they're about halfway done with all the project and all the work that they're doing out there in this part of the 1604 expansion. So we are seeing some light at the end of the tunnel. We come back out here real quick to our maps. But again, this closure is going to be in place 9 p.m. tonight through Monday morning, 5 a.m. And coming up at 9:30, we're going to talk about this other closure that's also going to be happening on 1604 this weekend. Mark and Stephanie, back to you guys.
Lots to talk about. Thank you, RJ. President Joe Biden wrapped up his trip to Brownsville yesterday, and he wasn't alone there. Mayor Ron Nierberg of San Antonio was one of several mayors who joined him. And the mayor says the visit is good for San Antonio. He said President Biden asked him about San Antonio, and he said the crisis along the border is definitely a challenge and that Biden's security bill would help.
And over to Eagle Pass, former President Donald Trump also made a stop to address the increasing number of people trying to come in illegally. He believes President Biden isn't doing enough for border security and commended Governor Greg Abbott for taking over Shelby Park. You can read more about both of these visits on our website at KSAT.com.
Here's today's 9 at 9.
The Smokehouse Fire in the Texas Panhandle is now the largest recorded fire in state history. It has burned more than 1 million acres so far. We know at least 2 people were killed in those fires. The San Antonio Fire Department is among many departments who have sent personnel to help battle the flames.
A federal judge in Austin has suspended a controversial state immigration law. It was set to take effect Tuesday. The law would allow Texas law enforcement to arrest and detain people they suspect of entering the country illegally. The judge argued it would open the door to individual states passing their own version of federal immigration laws.
Services are being held today in Moscow for Russian opposition leader Alexei Navalny. This morning, police are monitoring where his funeral service is scheduled. Navalny's team is not sure what will happen when the proceedings get underway. His widow is concerned people who show up could end up behind bars.
Today is the last day for early voting, and the Texas Secretary of State says nearly 18 million Texans are registered to vote. This is the largest amount of registered voters the state of Texas has ever seen. Experts say the increase is likely caused by population growth and does not necessarily foreshadow a change in voter turnout. According to the U.S. Census Bureau, Texas's population grew by about 500,000 people last year, the largest change of any state.
Senator John Cornyn is announcing that he's officially running to be the next Republican leader of the U.S. Senate. This comes just a day after Mitch McConnell announced he's stepping down. In his announcement, Cornyn says that he intends to fix the, quote, broken Senate. He says, as Republican whip, he helped President Trump advance his agenda through the Senate.
The Internal Revenue Service is cracking down on high-income earners who have not filed income taxes in the past 6 years. The IRS is sending compliance letters to more than 125,000 people, some of them millionaires. For several years, the IRS didn't have the manpower to pursue offenders, but the agency received a boost in resources from the Inflation Reduction Act.
A new report from Freddie Mac shows that mortgage rates climbed for a fourth straight week, inching closer to 7%. Mortgage Lender's chief economist says that the rise in rates in February has dampened already tentative homebuyer momentum. That's typically the busiest season for home buying. Now, market experts expect the Federal Reserve to not cut rates until later this year.
Now to some exciting news in the world of science. The San Antonio River Authority announced that a new species has been spotted in the Mission Reach portion of the San Antonio River, a spotted gar. The San Antonio River Association says it's a sign of diversity and that the water quality is excellent.
Today is the first day of National Women's History Month, and it's a time to honor all the strong and courageous women who came before us, paving the way and opening doors. The reason for March is due to events like the first major suffragist parade in D.C. and the Equal Rights Amendment all came to be during the month of March. And that's today's 9 at 9.
Any morning headlines. March is Colon Cancer Awareness Month, and there are some disturbing statistics.
President Joe Biden pulling back on some climate change regulations, and the rock laying claim to a lot of names and phrases. David Sears is here with your morning headlines.
Good morning.
You ought to see the list that he calls himself. I was like, really? Man, I can hardly remember my own one name, much less 25.
David.
But he is the Rock. We'll show you that in just a second. First, it is March 1st, and that means it is Colon Cancer Awareness Month. One of the reasons doctors and health officials are putting so much emphasis on this deadly cancer, for that reason right there. It is now the deadliest cancer for men under 50 and the second deadliest for women under 50. Doctors trying to get the word out, get screened starting at age 45. And therein lies the problem. Only 80% of people between 45 and 50 are not getting screened, and this should be a stark reminder. Craig Rowe being remembered by his friends and family. He was a linebacker for the University of Michigan, lost his battle with colon cancer at just 33 years old. Once again, get screened.
What we're concerned about clearly are food or environmental exposures that may be there, but it's hard to know. What we do know is this, that for people under the age of 50 diagnosed with colon cancer, about a third of them have some remarkable family history that might have given us a clue as to that having occurred.
Yeah, so that's why doctors tell us that if you have family history of colon cancer, go ahead and get screened early. From experience, I can tell you that the colonoscopy is not a lot of fun, but it's necessary. And if that's keeping you from getting screened, there are even ways to do it at home. Check with your doctor for that. All right, President Joe Biden putting the brakes on another part of one of his signature issues, climate change, until after the election. The EPA is going to cut existing gas plants out of proposed regulations and start working on a separate rule for those plants. The head of the EPA, Michael Regan, said there is not enough time to get those enacted before the election because the rules are very lengthy. In the meantime, the EPA will keep working on finalizing new regulations for existing coal plants and new gas plants. Dwayne Johnson goes by several different names like The Rock, the People's Champion, and now he wants to be owning those names, like several others. Like if you smell what The Rock is, I always thought, do you smell what The Rock is cooking? But apparently, if you smell what The Rock is cooking, the Blue Chipper, Rockpocalypse, Project Rock, and the most electrifying man in sports entertainment, and the Brahma Bull. He has filed with the SEC. Now, the Brahma Bull is pretty interesting since he is still a part of the new UFL, and San Antonio's team is the Brahmas. So remember, he was here for opening day, and they had the championship of the XFL here last year, so there's got a connection to San Antonio with that one. The Rock is also on the board of directors for TKO. They own the WWE. He's also going to play MMA fighter Mark Kerr in a new upcoming film. So just pull a name out of the hat, and it's got something to do with rock or blue or something like that. He's going to have it for you. So
I forgot about some of those.
yeah, like 25 of them.
Dave, all you need to do is trademark your name. We'll go with it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's see. Do we only just
David
trademark?
Something Sears. Like, did you have a nickname in high school or college
I'm not
that
going
you
to
could talk about on
Not that we can
I was going to
talk
say that you
about
could talk about. My apologies. All right, thank you,
Tell us
David.
later.
That's awesome. 9:09, 51 degrees, still ahead on GMSA at 9.
In today's gardening with KSAT, Sarah Costa talks about growing your own potatoes and why you should do that now.
Tiffany Huertas giving us an inside look at a new center on the southeast side, making it easier to access childcare. 9:13, access to high quality and affordable childcare is difficult to find in one particular southeast side community, but a new center hopes to change that.
Our Tiffany Huertas takes us to a new site that will support children's growth and development.
The site is designed with spaces that can help accommodate the needs of educators.
The new Pre-K for SA South Education Center will also have colorful spaces, activity areas, and interactive hallways. Construction is already underway.
We're going to have infant and toddler classrooms, which we've never had before.
The new facility is located near East South Cross and South WW White Road.
What can you tell us about this community and why this is so important here?
Well, we were lucky enough to partner with Peter Holt, who generously donated the land for the site. So that's really an important piece in that. But it was located in the area where we were looking to build a site because we know this is a childcare desert.
Pre-K for SA has another South Education Center located near Southeast Military Drive and South New Braunfels Avenue. But this new facility will replace it.
Pre-K for SA, we have 4 of our own schools, plus we operate the Gardendale Early Learning Program in the Edgewood School District. But we partner with over 100 different providers throughout the city to help them deliver high-quality early learning in a variety of different settings.
Beret says data collected at Pre-K for SA shows their programs have not only impacted children, but the lives of their families.
One study showed that families who participate in Pre-K for SA's extended day program, which is for families who work full-time or are going to school, earned about $15,000 more a year just from having access to that program. So it's having a big impact on the current workforce, but also the workforce of the future.
Beret says they hope to open this new center for the 2025-2026 school year. Tiffany Huertas, KSAT 12 News.
51 degrees out there. We start out again kind of in the low to mid 40s here in San Antonio.
Yeah, a little warmer.
A little chilly for now. For now. But this afternoon it'll feel really good. Yesterday was a chilly day. It stayed cloudy all day long. Sun is trying to come out, but these low clouds are always fun to forecast. And right now that clearing line is right over San Antonio. It's trying to slowly move east. So let's first start though with the climatology. It is March after all. March 1st. This is what we average. 70 for a high, 48 for a low. By the end of the month, we make it up to 77 for a high, average low is 55. So this is a month in which we make pretty big gains in temperatures. And don't forget that spring officially begins on March 19th. And so, yes, the next several days, it's going to feel like spring. We'll see above average temperatures. As we look outside for you right now, the sun is trying real hard to get to those clouds. And we're starting to see them thin out ever so slightly. 50 at the airport. calm winds. And there's the satellite picture, and you can see the edge of the clouds now starting to fade away here on the northwest side. So if you're watching there from, say, Helotes up towards Bulverde, the sun is out. It'll take a little while longer to get through the rest of the city, that clearing line. 41 in Kerrville, 40 in Fredericksburg, 48 in Rock Springs. Cold out in the hill country because they did see clear skies most of the night. It has the reverse effect, of course. It's going to allow for really cold temperatures at night and warm temperatures during the day. The clouds kind of act like a blanket at night for us here of the I-35 corridor. They did, and that kept temperatures up a little bit. But again, this clearing line will advance east throughout the day, and you'll see these temperatures start to jump up now that the sun is out. 47 in Bulverde, it's 49, still cloudy in New Braunfels. KSAT 12-hour forecast, 58 noontime, and then we make our way up to 72 with sunny skies at 4 o'clock. Southerly winds anywhere from 5 to 10 miles per hour. It really will be a nice evening. Temperatures in the mid-60s at 7 o'clock, 62 at 8 p.m. You may want a light jacket if you're going to be out late tonight. 79 Saturday. As you plan out your weekend, know that there will be some fog early. We'll see that fog again Sunday morning. It'll take a little longer to burn off, so we're going to call for mostly cloudy skies on Sunday, but in general, a pretty good-looking weekend. The storm system that brought the clouds yesterday and the snow in the Texas Panhandle now quickly pushing east. There's a lot of rain from parts of Mississippi, Alabama, over towards Georgia, but Texas is getting the chance to clear out. And our futurecast shows that, yes, fog will redevelop by tomorrow morning and then quickly burn off. We'll see mostly sunny skies by, say, 5 o'clock tomorrow. And then by Sunday morning, here comes the fog and low clouds. Now, these are going to be a little thicker, a little more widespread, and they'll hold on a little bit longer. So that's why Sunday's a mostly cloudy day. Then, well, the disturbance rolls along in the subtropical jet here. That's going to help to kick off, I think, a couple of thunderstorms on Monday. There will be some lift there, so some lightning and thunder possible Monday afternoon. With about a 30% chance of rain. That's our next best chance of rain. Tuesday, 20%. I think it drops off a little bit Wednesday, and then we'll have another chance on Thursday. So some opportunities for some rain, not big chances, but again, it's the afternoon isolated stuff, kind of more spring-like next week. Weekend looks good, and then partly to mostly cloudy skies next week, highs near 80, and some chances for rain here and there.
Not too bad.
Not too shabby. And coming up next half hour, we're going to take a look at some of the updates on the wildfires there in the Texas Panhandle. They're going to have another critical fire day coming up tomorrow, which is not good news.
Did the snow help at all up there?
I think it helped a little bit,
Okay.
but it was so brief,
Yeah.
and now that winds are picking back up, they're going to still have problems.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you, Justin.
918, 51 degrees.
And most Texas food staples involve potatoes in some way, so why not grow your own? After the break, Sarah Costa tells us how to get started.
Should you chit your potatoes? Guys, I'm saying that with a hard CH. Chit. Anyways, I'll get to that in a second. We are getting a late start, so make sure you plant them now in early March. I get my potato seeds from Rainbow Garden. Use potato seeds because grocery store potatoes are treated not to sprout. I didn't have time to chit my potatoes. Chitting is allowing them to sprout before you put them in the ground, but they're gonna be just fine without it. If your seed is larger than 2 inches, find the eyes and cut them into smaller pieces. You need to let these dry overnight before planting. If you plant them right away, Rainbow Gardens has sulfur powder that you can sprinkle on the cut sides to prevent disease before you put them in the ground. Make sure you have 12 inches of soil and dig a 6-inch trench. Plant 10 to 12 inches apart. This is important. The eyes must be up. Cover with 2 to 3 inches of soil. You can add an organic fertilizer like this one in 2 weeks. And make sure to give at least an inch of water every week. Add more soil when the shoots get 4 to 6 inches, and as it continues to grow, he'll soil around the tuber. Harvest time is anywhere from 2 to 4 months, and you'll know when it's time when that foliage gets yellow and brown. Wait 2 weeks, then it's harvest time. Happy gardening! I'm Sarah Costa, KSAT 12 News.
Let's look out there with live cam. So we started in the 40s, now we're in the 50s, kind of making our way to possibly a nice afternoon.
See that blue sky back there?
I do.
Far away.
See it. I can see it. I'm excited. Can you tell? The sun's going to it's going to be out soon. You can see that the skies are trying to break up. Those clouds are trying to break up, I should say, and the sun will be out this afternoon to warm us up quite a bit. Let me show it to you here on the satellite picture. You'll get a better idea. That clearing line is right over San Antonio, right over the airport at this point, as we just saw. So let me zoom in a little bit closer, and the city's kind of cut in half here, more or less. If you're on the northwest side, sun is out. Stone Oak, Leon Springs, Helotes, Leon Valley, the sun is out now. But if you're watching us from Live Oak, Converse, down to, say, Elmendorf, still cloudy. It'll take a little while longer, but these clouds are attempting to thin out. And as we look at the forecast for today, once these clouds go, you'll see those temperatures jump up pretty quickly. 58 degrees noontime, and then 72 this afternoon, turning into a really beautiful day. Pollen count is in. Molds are still high, or moderate, I should say, at 620, but they're still at the top of the list. Mulberry, elm, hackberry, ash, and oak all showing up today. Thankfully, they're all low, but we are working our way towards oak season, so you can expect those numbers to jump up a little bit more. Again, we're going to talk about some of the fires in the Panhandle and what the situation looks like coming up this weekend here in just a couple minutes.
All right, Justin, yeah, things have certainly settled down across the area in terms of our traffic. Quick check here, 1604 at Babcock. Traffic moving pretty good, but we're going to be talking about that area in just a bit. Want to let you know about one incident here. I'm not sure why our camera didn't zoom in there, but there is a crash being reported at Loop 410 southbound over there by 35, right there by Kirby. That's going to be the Space Center exit. Again, if you are headed out in the Kirby area, just keep that one in mind. And as we zoom in now, here we go. Our maps are catching up to us, but as we just mentioned, crash out there in Loop 410 southbound at the Space Center exit. All right, we've been talking about 1604. There's going to be a lot of work taking place here throughout the entire weekend. We mentioned at the top of 9, we have this big closure here, 1604 east and west, right there at I-10. You're not going to be able to get onto I-10 from 1604 in any direction there. Okay, the other part that we're going to talk about, we mentioned earlier, is this other closure that's going to be a little bit east of that I-10 1604 interchange. This is going to be headed towards 281, and we have some drone video of this as well that our photographers got there yesterday. So biggest takeaway here is that Loop 1604 west from the Blanco Road exit to the Bitters entrance ramp, that will be closed. Now, if you're coming in the opposite direction, Loop 1604 east from the Bitters Road exit ramp all the way to Stone Oak Parkway, that will be shut down there as well. So this is going to affect all of our traffic around the Huebner area. Obviously, HEB, Target, a lot of people use 1604 in that direction there. As we come back out here real quick to the map. All right, so basically TxDOT is doing just a quick traffic switch here, and this is going to start again 9 p.m. tonight going into 5 a.m. Monday. This is all part of that big expansion there, 1604. They're going to have 10 lanes out there at 1604 when it is all said and done, but again, it's something that we're just going to have to hold our breath. Just keep in mind, 1604 all the way from 281 to I-10 is going to be very busy. Make sure to plan for alternate routes in those areas. Mark and Stephanie, back to you guys.
Thank you, RJ. Today is the last day to vote early for the March primary. And in a presidential election year, there are a lot of moving parts.
Yeah, so what's the difference in a caucus and a primary? So who gets to be a delegate and what do they actually do? It's all in this KSAT Explains.
Republican and Democrat, caucus and primary, Iowa and New Hampshire.
Why is it so important?
Because it's the very first, and because it proves your organizational skills.
Since 1972, Iowa has held the first voting contest in presidential election years, a caucus.
Caucuses are kind of fascinating because it's a throwback to pre-modern America.
What's different about a caucus is that you actually have to show up. You have to be there at a meeting. You have to hang around for a while. You can't just show up, vote, and leave.
I think Iowa has something like close to 3,000 precincts across the state. So imagine 3,000 different precinct meetings in which people are showing up, voicing their support for somebody. It is a highly intensive process to get people to participate.
A primary is the form of election that Texans and voters in the majority of states are used to.
A primary election is the voters' opportunity to vote for the candidates they would like their party to put on the ballot in November.
Voters show up, cast their ballot, and leave. The person who wins the vote in both the Republican and Democratic primaries will be on the ballot for the general election in November. That election decides who takes office. The rules of a primary election are laid out by individual states and the political parties within those states.
How often can they change the rules?
too many times. They can change it as much as they want, right? And they have, right?
New Hampshire is usually the first state to hold a Democratic primary in the race for president.
New Hampshire, in fact, has on the books a law that says we're always going to be the first primary state.
But not in 2024.
President Biden did not want them to go first. And so the DNC passed something that said South Carolina is going to go first.
New Hampshire still followed its own law, though. The state held the first Democratic primary this year.
But they were stripped of all their delegates. So they have no delegates to go to the Democratic convention because they broke the Democratic Party rules by going ahead of a state that was tagged, in this case, South Carolina, to go first.
So what's a delegate?
You're representing your state at a national convention.
Who becomes the nominee is really based on the number of delegates.
Normally it's people who are well connected to the party, who have a lot of roots in the party, who have done a lot of work for a campaign, primarily for campaigns. It's a reward for some people.
Others become delegates because they're elected leaders within their party. Delegates carry out their duties at a convention, first at the state level, then at the national level. National conventions are those huge events full of pomp and circumstance where states carry their banners and delegates voice their support for the nominee their state chose in the primary. Then there's usually lots of balloons and confetti. But before we get there, voters need to go here.
Texas is a true open primary state.
We have a Democratic primary and a Republican primary.
You don't register to vote as a Republican or Democrat. What you do instead is you decide, am I going to vote in the Democratic or Republican primary? But you're not beholden to being a member of that party.
But if there is a runoff in a primary race, you have to vote within the same party in the runoff that you did in the primary.
So in other words, a person can't vote in the Republican primary and then vote in the Democratic primary runoff. So this is the DS200, also known as a ballot scanner or precinct counter.
There are a few different ways to vote in Texas. Guadalupe County, like Bexar County, uses a hybrid method that incorporates both a digital system and a paper ballot. You make your selections on a screen and get a printout.
It prints their ballot, and now they're ready to take it over to the DS200. Now, normally in an election, all of this would be sealed. You wouldn't be able to see all of this.
To cast your vote, Texas requires you to show a government-issued photo ID. That could be a driver's license, a passport, military ID, even a license to carry. Your voter registration card, though, you don't need that. What you cannot have out at the polls is your phone. It's considered a recording device. Also, no campaign materials, but you can take a sample ballot with you.
Sample ballots are wonderful. Sample ballots is a chance for a voter to prepare themselves for what they're going to see when they get to the polls. They can even mark them and bring them in already marked. Not everyone knows that, but it's totally legal.
There's also been some confusion about this too. These machines?
Let me explain that it doesn't connect to the internet. It does not connect to the internet legally.
It's not on somebody's Wi-Fi.
No Wi-Fi, no Bluetooth. It's not allowed legally to be connected to any of those things. And when I print election results election night, I actually print them. I trot them up to my office. I scan them into my computer to upload them to the internet.
Hayes says that goes for any election, primary or general.
And one thing we haven't talked about is also the Electoral College.
Oh yes, let's do that.
The Electoral College was a compromise that came about a long time ago to really make sure that small states still had a voice in the process.
So that the biggest states with the biggest populations don't determine every election.
This is not about whoever gets the most votes, right?
No matter the candidate that wins the popular vote, they still have to get 270 electoral votes. Texas has 40 electoral votes. Where's that number come from? It's the number of congressional districts in a state plus votes for each senator. In Texas, that's 38 plus 2.
Most states, winner take all.
It's winner take all.
Which means that whoever wins the general in Texas, they get all of our electoral
votes.
But the majority of states, including the biggest in the U.S., like Texas, California, Florida, and New York, are solidly red or blue. That's why swing states are so critical to a campaign. They're the states that could swing either way, blue or red. There's just not that many of them these days.
This time around, folks from both sides, on the Republican and the Democratic side, say that it's 5 to maybe 7 states. So Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin, Georgia, Arizona, Nevada, maybe North Carolina are the only states that are going to matter. So that's not a good thing for the country, that most of the country doesn't really matter. I hate to say that, but that's the system we have. And if you're a campaign, you got to play the rules of what's in front of you.
Interesting and timely topic. So if you want to check out a sample ballot for both Democrat and Republican primaries, scan this QR code. It will take you to our Vote 2024 page on KSAT.com.
And that's where we also have a list of voting locations and hours. So today is the last day to vote early. And Election Day is this Tuesday, March 5th.
I was in line to vote early yesterday, and it's not like flying a plane where you can put your phone in airplane mode. They literally told everybody in line, turn your device completely off.
Yeah, they have to abide by those rules.
They do. 9:37, 52 degrees.
You're watching GMSA at 9, and San Antonio residents can vote to agree that the sun is shining a little brighter this morning after that amazing Spurs win last night. So David Steers and RJ Marcus will join us after the break to talk all about it. Well, the San Antonio Spurs bounced back in a big way last night, taking down one of the top teams in the West.
It was another Wemby versus Chet showdown. David and RJ are back to break it all down.
You hear the glee and the excitement in Steph's voice this morning? She's just like, wow, they won again.
Stephanie went honking last night.
By myself.
All right. Full disclosure, before we get to the highlights, you know, a lot of times the Spurs start playing and they get down and you end up flipping. Did you know Loretta Lynn's granddaughter is a really good singer-songwriter? She was on American Idol last night. That's where I
Somebody
ended up
was channel surfing.
Wow.
But then I went back to the Spurs, and it was must-see TV. The Spurs were must-see TV. How often have we said that? Could not turn away. For some reason, just felt like this was the one. This is the one they're going to win. And man, Wemby took off, and whoo!
How often? Maybe 12 times this year is how
12.
often we've been able to say it here. Yeah, and this was really kind of the big matchup. This is going to be the future big man matchup. I'm going to make a declaration right now and say the Rookie of the Year race is over after what Victor Wembanyama did last night.
Yeah, I think he stuffed that ballot box last night, didn't he?
Yeah.
Get that? We'll show you that in just a second.
Unintended.
Oh, by the way, if this guy is not an all-defensive first team, then the NBA voters ought to just pack up and go on somewhere else, because he has done a phenomenal job, especially since the All-Star break. And I think I read a stat this morning, or was it last night, that he has more blocks himself than all the other teams in the league since the All-Star game.
Yeah, then several teams combined. Yeah, absolutely. That is an incredible stat.
Yeah.
You mentioned 5 blocks yesterday to go along with 28 points, 13 rebounds, 7 assists.
Look at him.
And he also had 2 steals, and he's doing this against, again, who's going to be one of his big man opponents down the line. Yeah, so awesome
5 3-pointers, and one of them was from like way downtown. I mean, he shot that thing from the Hemisphere Tower. I mean, that's how far away he was. There it is. Watch it. Look at where he is. He's way out there shooting those things.
Was it Sean Elliott that said yesterday that he likes to take those threes off the dribble as opposed to getting them as more of a spot up? I think that was a good observation by Sean there.
Yeah, well, it is Sean Elliott. He knows what he's talking about sometimes.
He does.
Most of the time.
We're going to get to this. We're going to get to this block here in a second. I mean, because they just Oklahoma City came back and they cut the lead down. And you're going, oh no, but there was just that feeling. There was just that. Here we go. Just watch. Oh! In your face.
Yeah.
That's the Rookie of the Year winning play right there. That gets him the Rookie of the Year.
Oh.
And look at Chet laying on the floor going, what happened?
By the way, Chet Holmgren's 7-1.
Yeah.
7-1.
That's what's great about that.
7-4. But yeah, you just see the skill set on display on offense and defense yesterday. Devin Vassell, David, 28 points as well. Jeremy Sohan had a nice bounce back game after being benched in the previous game against the Timberwolves. So good to see that the guys all kind of stepped up here.
Sounds like, and I didn't see it, I'm only seeing highlights with you guys today, but it sounds like this may have been the best game for our Spurs this year.
The Minnesota win was pretty good.
Right.
But this one may be the best overall game. You saw the 2 big guys step up and take over, and that's Wembanyama and Devin Vassell.
Right.
So those 2 guys did what the big 2 would do. Now you need a big 3. We got to find a third guy to step in there so we can start winning more of these games and get to the playoffs.
And really, Mark, to your point, I think what stood out to me was that San Antonio kind of was falling by the same script, went ahead, playing well, and then third quarter they let Oklahoma City get back into the game. But this time around, they made the plays down the stretch. So I think that's a sign of growth. I know we've been kind of hard on them, but it's a sign that they are progressing.
Well, Devin Vassell had like 5 or 6 turnovers in the last game. He only had 1 last night, and he handles the ball a lot.
Real quick before we move along, I want to ask. I know Patty Mills was waived by Atlanta this week. Is there a place for Patty on this team, or has the team moved beyond Patty and his skill level?
Depends on how many towels we got.
Why do you say that?
Wow, that's a good one.
Why do you say that?
Because Patty Mills only got the towel.
Sorry, it's been a hot minute since Patty was here.
He was the original towel.
Okay, so the Spurs do have a roster spot available. They waived Marcus Morris Sr., a guy who was never even in San Antonio. He was part of that trade with the Pacers.
Right.
They have a roster spot available. I think the Hawks did waive Patty, though, so that he can also get with a playoff contender if he so chooses that plan. But I think it'd be great to get Patty back here.
They need some of that.
To see the culture.
They need some of that discipline and leadership on the floor, at least sitting on the bench to help these guys as a player. I mean, Pop can only do so much as a coach, and he's like,
Yeah. I was just
dad and granddad to a lot of these guys. So you get
It's what a lot of Spurs fans have been saying.
Yeah.
Patty could come back.
It's fun. It's fun to think about.
But even if he gets picked up by another team, he finishes out the season with them, and he can still come back to San Antonio after that.
There you go.
So
there
you go.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
Spurs, they are back at the Frost Bank Center. This is a Sunday. All right, the Sunday evening game taking on the Indiana Pacers. So we're going to get to see Doug McDermott come back after a couple of seasons with the Spurs. Doug McDermott obviously was a solid contributor, but is now with the Pacers, who are in contention also in the Eastern Conference.
All right, Steph, give us a go Spurs go with that big victory smile.
The big victory smile. Yes, I'm very excited. Yes, go Spurs go. But I'm still happy about last night. It was like the leap day luck.
There you go.
We like that.
It was leap day luck. Guys, thank you. Good to have you with us. All right, 9:46. Let's go over to the zoo.
Yeah. I was like, any Spurs out there? No, just the flamingos. Our friends, the flamingos, just hanging out in the water at the zoo.
Kind of crowding their own center court over there at the zoo.
Yeah. It is a good day to go to the zoo. Start with a jacket, and then maybe you won't need it later this afternoon.
Yeah, you're right. It looks like the sun's trying to come out there at the zoo, so it's going to turn into a pretty cool day. Hey there.
Hey.
Yeah, it is going to turn into a pretty nice day out there at the zoo. It should be really, really nice. Hey, we got to talk about the wildfires up across the Texas Panhandle. We've still got those burning up there, and of course the big one is the Smokehouse Creek fire. At last check, 1.1 million acres. Okay, that is massive. That is officially the largest fire acreage-wise in Texas history, and it's still only 3% contained. This is traveling now into parts of Oklahoma. It is taking up a large portion of the Texas Panhandle, and you've got 2 other fires here that are quite sizable, but they're starting to get these under control. Of course, there was snow yesterday, which I think helped a little bit, but the problem they have now is because it is so massive that once we get some more fire issues coming up, and that's tomorrow, there's going to be more problems here. So this is the fire risk for tomorrow. Today is not so bad, but tomorrow the winds pick up, it gets dry again, and you've got critical fire danger from Amarillo up to parts of Colorado and Kansas. So prayers for those firefighters and all those folks that live up there that they can get this under control. As we go outside here, there are the clearing skies. I knew it was going to happen here sooner or later, and there we are. We're starting to see some blue sky. And 50 degrees at the airport, 49 New Braunfels, 48 Seguin, 52 in Boerne, 47 in Kerrville, and these numbers are starting to rise now that we do have some sun to deal with. 58 noontime, and then eventually we'll make our way up to about 72 or so this afternoon, around 4 or 5 o'clock with sunny skies, and then back down into the 60s tonight. So you may want a light coat if you're going to be out late tonight, but nothing that's too bitterly cold. There's a satellite picture, and man, that clearing line is still right there, but it is finally starting to march east a little bit. So the whole northwest side of San Antonio has cleared out, and we're starting to see some clearing across downtown as well. Still northeast side, you're under clouds. Won't be much longer. New Braunfels, I'll give it about another hour, and you'll start to see some sun there. Same in Seguin, and we can see that on some of the TransGuide cameras. This is 1604 on the northwest side near Babcock. And sun is out. Looks great out there, and this is what we have to look forward to. Futurecast shows that fog will redevelop tomorrow morning. I don't think it lasts very long. It's there briefly, and then sun pops back out Saturday afternoon. And then Sunday morning, we get thicker fog, thicker clouds. They hang around a little bit longer in this case, and then we get mostly cloudy skies on Sunday. Any sort of rain chance, I think, holds off until Monday. We get a little disturbance rolling through, and that should create some isolated showers and storms, I think, Monday afternoon, and then maybe again on Tuesday as well. We'll keep an eye on it. Well, there could be some lightning and thunder involved here. This is kind of more of a spring-like pattern, as we've been saying. But they're 80 this weekend, and then you've got those small rain chances showing up Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Right now we have Monday as our best, with our best odds of seeing maybe a thunderstorm or two.
And we'll be ready because we need the rain.
We do need the rain. I don't think it's going to be widespread, but every little bit helps at this point.
Yes, it does. Thank you, Justin.
9:50, 54 degrees.
So movie lovers have been counting down to this weekend. We're going to tell you about why after the break in today's Hollywood Minute.
Today in entertainment news, the movie opening this weekend could be music to the ears of theater owners, and a film about a man who hears music everywhere.
All right, CNN's David Daniel picks up the tune in our Hollywood Minute.
Look who's back from the dead. Now do what must be done.
Dead pretty much describes movie theater box offices this year, but Dune Part 2 could change that. Industry forecasts show the science fiction sequel's opening weekend could hit $80 million, more than the total box office of any film released in 2024 so far. Data trackers the box office companies say at this point in the sales cycle, Dune Part 2 is outselling such hits as Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, John Wick 4, and even Oppenheimer.
For as long as I can remember, everyday regular sounds, I turn into rhythm.
Here's your first look at Musica, directed, co-written by, and starring Rudy Mancuso, based on his real life with a form of synesthesia, in which people perceive one or more of their senses differently. He's also trying to make sense of family pressures, his romantic life, and his future. Musica begins streaming on Prime Video April 4th. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
Look out there with TransSky looking at this shot at Loop 1604 at Babcock Road. Things are moving there. We had quite a few things going on this morning, but this appears to be okay right now.
Mm-hmm. And don't forget, 1604 is going to have quite a few shutdowns this weekend, including I-10 and 1604, and then Blanco to Bitters, roughly both ways, to be shut down this weekend. So there will be some slowdowns up there. Clearing skies today, 72, 79 Saturday, 78 Sunday. Good looking weekend. Just some fog in the morning and quite a bit more cloud cover on Sunday. It's not until next week that we start to bring in the rain chances. And right now, Monday is a day we have pegged with some decent chances for rain. It'll be isolated, but nice to see it back in the forecast.
Well, now that it's March, maybe a rumble of thunder will fit with the month and feeling more like spring around here.
That'd be good.
Yeah, temperatures are warming up. We're starting to get into more of that spring-like pattern where we see those storm systems go through. And of course, we're going to have to start worrying about the threat for severe weather season soon. It doesn't look like we'll see a lot of severe weather on Monday, but just something to keep in the back of your mind.
Okay, well, we'll enjoy the mild weather for right now.
Yes, and the cold weather, we're done with that. That was just yesterday, at least for the next few weeks.
Sounds good. Now, if we could shorten the stack on the pollen count, we'd be miles ahead.
We'd be doing really well.
Yes.
That's not going to happen.
Can you do that for us? Oh,
No,
okay.
sorry.
Have a good day, guys.